Welcome to your Daily Writing Habit, episode number 232. If you are writing a book or thinking about it, or maybe you've started writing your book and you need some help getting it done, or perhaps you're at the stage where you need help reaching more readers to let them know about your book, you are in the right place. Good morning. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh. If you're looking for me online, look up Christine Inc., I-N-K, like the stuff you write with, christine-inc.com. Every day, I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 18 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that three things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and they have the ability to turn someone who doesn't even really see themselves as a writer into a published author. Those three things are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Here's today's quote. A professional writer is an amateur who didn't quit. Richard Bach. Well, once again, good morning. It is FAQs Friday. This is where I answer your frequently asked questions, whether about the hats that I wear as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author, or about writing habits, writing fundamentals, productivity, all the writing and book-related questions that are on your mind. So today's question comes to me through my website, christine-inc.com. Super easy to reach me there through the contact page, by the way. And that's exactly what this person did. And their question is, I know this may sound a little silly, but am I allowed to call myself a writer or even an author if I haven't been published yet? Or do my blogs and my website count? Or does it need to be more serious than that? Well, I love this question because a story comes to mind for me. Now, back when I was in LA around the late 1990s and I was struggling to become any semblance of a paid writer, it seemed in my mind like I got the question quite a bit. You know, when they said, people would say, what do you do? And very confidently I said, I'm a writer, and, act as if. And in reply, I would get one of two things. I would either get, oh, have I seen anything you've written? And of course, no. And because it's LA and they naturally assume screenwriter, that's why they would say that. Or in some cases, I would get more of a condescending snort followed by, okay, but what do you really do for a living? So to my credit, I would hold my ground and brush away the negativity and the sarcasm and insist that I indeed was a writer. But then, I had to quickly change the subject to avoid any further questions because obviously I didn't have any good answers for those questions at the time since I was still aspiring to become a paid writer. So interestingly enough, since becoming an actual paid writer for a living since 2001, I don't recall anyone actually challenging me anymore. I don't recall anyone asking me what I really do for a living or anything like that. So have they changed or have I? It would seem clear, probability-wise, that I must have changed. Maybe something in my voice or how I hold myself, whatever I'm giving off that, of course, is a reflection of my internal belief and knowledge, of course, that I am a writer. It must have changed. Because since 2001, nobody has asked me what I, quote-unquote, really do. And of course, I can also qualify my answer with paid writing jobs. But the interesting part is that even before that piece of the conversation where, people start saying, well, what have you written? Things like that. Nobody's challenging when I say I'm a writer. Nobody's challenging and saying, oh, yeah, well, what do you really do? So kind of an interesting lesson there. And if we look at the definition of the word writer, it's a person who has written a particular text. And the definition of an author is the writer of a book, article, or report. Now, notice that not one part of either of those definitions is qualified by being published or being given permission in any way to produce words. A writer is a person who has written something. An author is the writer of that written thing. My answer to this frequently asked question, therefore, is write. Produce words on paper. Do it regularly, every day if at all possible, even a few sentences or paragraphs at a time. Take baby steps toward your goal of a completed work. That was the other thing I was doing in LA. While everyone else seemed to be focused on what I was doing for a living, I was writing every single day, as if I did it for a living. Breaks at work and lunch and after work, weekends, holidays. I was so all in on writing that other people's opinion of it, and when one was allowed, quote unquote, allowed to call themselves a writer, simply didn't matter. So that's my advice to you. Write. Keep writing, no matter what anyone says to you about it. Produce works. Produce words. If you've written something, you're a writer. Now, keep doing it. Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I'm helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. Be sure and drop by my Inc. Authors group on Facebook as well as LinkedIn for motivation, accountability, book writing, publishing resources, and more. So again, Inc. Authors, I-N-K, on Facebook as well as LinkedIn. Great support group for you for some motivation to keep writing every day. And if you know someone who wants to write a book, please let them know about Your Daily Writing Habit. I would appreciate it. Until tomorrow, happy writing.